getting warm out, and that means I can guarantee you people are going to be out cleaning their windows today. And we have the window experts on the line with us. Keith and Lisa Kroehler are experts. They have their own business called I Do Windows, and they offer a video and a squeegee set and all sorts of tools to let you do your windows correctly. And Keith and Lisa, welcome to WHO Radio.
Hi, Steve.
Good afternoon, Steve.
What are the practical tips that you two offer through your video?
Well, we show them exactly how to do a good job of washing windows with a squeegee. People try to wash windows with everything under the sun, including newspaper and vinegar, and
right.
It takes forever, and so they don't do it very often, and so they ultimately wind up living with dirty windows. And I got tired of people coming up to me and telling me that when I was done washing a commercial business that they can come to their house, and I decided, well, I'm going to go to their house through a video and show them how to get good windows. And we show them in the video how to wash windows with a professional squeegee so that you can be out there once a month and keep those outside windows clean. And then when you're looking outside, you can enjoy the sun and you can feel better about yourself because the windows look good and you can see everything.
See, I thought a squeegee was pretty much just for the big jobs, like the big buildings, the professional buildings.
Well, sure for that, but unfortunately, people think that a squeegee is you can buy a squeegee anywhere and any squeegee will work, and so they use these squeegees that you use for your windshield of your car.
Right.
That's not going to work on a window. It doesn't work on a window of a car, but it's good enough to get by with the car. But when you want to clean windows clean for your house, you need to go down to your local janitor supply store or someplace where they offer a professional squeegee that has a replaceable blade. And you need to know how to use that. And unfortunately, they don't give you directions exactly how to use it. And that's why I came up with the video. And you can get a squeegee all the way down to 6 inches wide for those little tiny windows. Mm-hmm. So squeegees are for any job that you want to use it for, including mirrors in the house. Our squeegee will work perfectly for mirrors that you have in your house, mirrors that you might have in your bedroom. People have a wall of mirrors, whatever, and it works great for that.
Do you have a special soap solution, or what do you use to actually do the cleaning part?
Well, people think that that's part of the secret of clean windows, and everybody asks me that because I'm a full-time professional window washer, and I'm out there every day. And so I'm always getting that question, what do you got in your water? I said, just soap and water. What do you mean? What kind of soap? Well, I use Dawn. That's not the secret. Okay. The secret is the squeegee that you use on the window and keeping a sharp edge on the squeegee blade. When it gets dull or nicked or something, you need to replace it because that's where the streaks come from. I replace mine. Squeegee blade, professional squeegee blade has two sides to it, and I flip it over daily. For someone who has a house who cleans monthly, you would want to probably flip it over every 3 or 4 months if you're doing it on a monthly or bi-monthly basis.
So, Keith, the message we're getting here is squeegee is the key.
That's right.
Okay.
That's the key, and of course, the key to that is knowing how to use that squeegee. You can go uptown. I've had a lot of people buy a professional squeegee, and they throw it out because it doesn't work for them because they don't know how to use it.
Right.
And that's hard to describe over a phone, but that's really what we show in the video, the technique to use it so that you don't leave any streaks on the window.
Steve, I might interject, too, that not too long ago, Keith was at a famous fast food restaurant, and the janitor says, well, I wash all the windows, but mine are always streaking. And Keith said, well, when was the last time you changed the rubber blade? And the guy looked at him and said, oh, you're supposed to change the blade? They'd been using the same squeegee for 10 years.
Oh, my gosh.
So that is a key because otherwise your windows are not going to be clean.
And the blade only costs $1.25, $2 through us, so we have to cover the cost of postage and stuff. So it's not a big deal. Just keep a fresh, sharp blade in there, and you'll keep sharp-looking windows.
Now, Lisa, you kind of got involved in this because of your TV background. You kind of helped out putting this video together, right?
Yes, I did. When I met Keith 11 years ago now, we've been married 10 years, he was a pig farmer, and I was a television producer, a real likely couple, right?
Yeah, well prepared for cleaning windows.
We knew what that was all about. But anyhow, a few years ago, he got into window cleaning, and so we, as he told me, all these people were saying this, I said, hey, let's collaborate together and come up with a video. And so actually we came up with 2 television videos, and one is for the industry, and it teaches employees of restaurants and businesses how to clean windows, and then the other one is for homeowners. And in that, Keith and I are both in both of them, and specifically in the homeowner one, we also tell you how to clean screens and specialty windows and all the insides and outs that you
Yeah.
need to know.
And before I ask you about some of those, I was fascinated to watch your video because at the beginning you're in this gorgeous, unbelievable house with the most incredible windows.
Yeah, that's not our house either.
Oh, I thought it was yours. Oh.
Someday.
But then you very practically go to a normal house. I mean, a little more old-fashioned type house, something that most of us can relate to.
Yeah, one that has storm windows on
Right.
it.
And you really went across the board. For example, we have storm windows on the house that we own right now, and that helped me a lot because generally I just, take the storm window, take the hose, and just kind of hose it off. But you showed that you actually can clean it in a way that you clean a window almost, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, with old storm windows, it's like cleaning two windows. You have to take the storm windows out and clean them because there's the glass behind the storm window that you can't get at unless you take the window out. And so I normally, when I clean windows like that, take it out and set it on top of a little ladder and clean that window and set it aside and then go clean the window that's on the inside of the house on both sides. And it makes more than double the work. And
but what I was surprised at, I think in the video you said that when you clean the screen on windows, you actually should just you soap it up and then you leave it out to dry.
Yeah, you can use a garden hose to spray it off, but usually the dirt won't come off when you do that, and so you just take the strip mop that's part of the squeegee with a little soap on there and scrub it back and forth on the screen to get the dirt off of there. Then you rinse it off with a garden hose, tap it a few times on the ground to shake the majority of the water off, and set it aside to dry, and it'll be as good as it's going to get. It'll be almost like a brand new screen.
Yeah, and that's it helps to see somebody do that, and you kind of show us that on this video.
Mm-hmm.
Our guests are Keith and Lisa Kroehler. They have the I Do's window video, and did I say that right? I said that totally wrong. I Do's windows. Did I say that totally wrong?
I do.
I know I read that wrong.
Actually, you don't do windows. That's why you didn't say it right.
I Do Windows. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
I Do Windows is the name of the video, and Squeegee set. Keith and Lisa, I will never hear the end of this. Let's talk a little bit about some of the actual tips now. Cotton rag.
Yeah, nice, clean.
I mean, for example, when I go out and clean windows, it's paper towel and the store spray.
Well, that's fine, and people use that a lot, and it works good to touch up a clean window. But when a window has been, like all the storms that you've had this winter, and you got all the dirt on that window, it's going to take a whole bottle of that to get that off. Because the secret to a clean window is to get the dirt off, and once the dirt's off, you can go back and use the blue stuff with a paper towel and keep the fingerprints and spots bird spots that get on there. But to get the film and the dirt completely off of there, you just need a lot of soap and water, and that's what you get off with the squeegee, and that's what we'd like to show people how to do. And that's really the secret. And you use the dry cotton towel to wipe up the edges where the squeegee can't get to, in any missed spots that you might have.
You showed on the video that first you soap the window down, and then in some cases you actually take the rag or something, and you kind of put a little dry rim around the edge so that the squeegee has a place to start.
Yeah, what will happen if you don't do that is the water will, after your first pass on the squeegee, will get water on the blade, and you put that back up on the window. If there isn't that dry edge there, and you pull down, you'll leave water where you put that squeegee down.
Right.
And so by creating that dry edge, it allows the squeegee to get started on a dry piece of glass, and then thus not leaving any water behind it, which will leave a water spot or a streak.
And then you said the squeegee's got to be slightly angled.
Yeah, that keeps the water on the glass running away from the dry part of the glass, and by keeping the squeegee, a part of the squeegee on the dry part of the glass, it's like a road grader, It moves the dirt from one point to the other across this blade. Well, that's what the water does. It goes, it's forced to go from the front to the back part, and most people like to pull it straight down, and water runs. It's got to go somewhere, so it goes around both edges, and that's how you get a streak on your glass. Right.
Then you just use your rag and kind of get the edges touched up again, and then you're all set.
And it's faster than paper towel and a blue bottle because once you know how to do it, all you have to do is soap up that glass and squeegee it down, and you walk away from it.
Right.
I can attest to that, Steve, because, he does not have time to do his own windows here.
I don't get paid for it.
So I had to learn. And, I use the squeegee that we give out with the video when people buy the video. I use that same squeegee on my house windows and on my mirrors. And I will never do bathroom mirrors again with paper towel. It is so quick and easy to use a squeegee and just go right down the mirror, and it's clean, and I don't have to fuss with it.
But what do you do when you're on the inside of the house? When you're using a squeegee, you got that wet stuff at the bottom. Where's it going to go? I mean, doesn't it get on the floor or something?
Well, you try to keep as little moisture on that as possible, and I can do the whole inside of a 2,500 square foot house with a quart of water. Just
My
because
gosh.
I just dabble a little bit of water on the strip mop that you clean the window with, and there will be a little bit of water that'll run down to the sill of the window, but then you have another rag that's kind of one that you use as your damp rag to wipe that all off, and it takes care of the dust that's on there because all it is soapy water. And you actually are doing two things at once. You get to clean up the windowsill after you're done washing the window, and you don't ever use enough water so that you're slopping water everywhere.
Boy, well, you're a professional, though. I mean, I know when I try this what's going to happen. It's going to be water everywhere. It's going to be a mess.
Well, just put enough water in there so that it's wet. It's not dripping out of there,
Just
and
a
you'll be
little
just
bit.
fine.
Okay. Keith and Lisa, a couple more minutes here with you. I wanted to ask about car windows because, boy, the back of my van gets absolutely filthy in the wintertime. Is there a trick to keeping it clean?
The same thing, just wash it often. And the back of a van has got a flat window, usually where a squeegee like mine will work on it, and that's typically why the car squeegee is a softer rubber and shorter, because it'll go around the curve of the windshield. But the professional window squeegee is a straight-edge squeegee, and it's got a very hard rubber.
Okay, so the key is that professional squeegee.
Yeah, is the hard rubber on there, and keeping a sharp edge on that rubber.
Keith, what about older windows? Because many of them have patterns or certain types of beveled glass or something like that.
Well, older windows are tougher because of the type of glass that it is, and the edges of the window itself has usually got cracking glazing on there, and it makes it a much more difficult job to do. And if there's specialty curves in it, or some of the old windows have the fan shape on top and stuff, and you can't use the squeegee very well on those. You'll just have to go to the old standard route of. And I can do a much better job with my damp rag that I wipe up the sill with, and I get it washed up with that, and then I take the dry rag that I wipe up the edges with and just touch it up with that. It even does a much better job than your blue stuff and paper towel.
Lisa, you guys have been in business for a little while now. What kind of response have you received?
It's been exciting. We actually started out by promoting the industry video by going to the National Restaurant Association convention last year, and overwhelming response from restaurants because, especially with minimum wage going up, they said, I can't afford to hire out professional window cleaning services. I've got too many people standing around, so that's why we decided to train employees so when there are standing around in slow times that they can do their windows. So it's been a great response from that. And then, of course, the homeowner video, we've done several radio shows now, and especially this time of year, everybody's saying, I'm sick and tired of the film on my windows.
Right.
And you can do it yourself, and really it is fast and easy once you learn. But the key is not to give up too quick. I talked to a lady the other day. She said, well, I tried it on one window and I couldn't do it. Well, as in anything, you've got to give it at least a fair shot because you're learning something totally new.
It's going to take a little while, right? But, most people, in my experience, just plain avoid cleaning windows. We might do it now, like for spring cleaning, but generally, that's it. We don't touch it after that. And you're saying, get out there. There is a way to do it, and it's not that complicated.
Well,
right?
It's because people spend hours and hours trying to get a window clean, and they get done, and the sun shines on it, and it doesn't look any better than when they started.
That's right. So do it the right way.
That's why they get frustrated and don't want to do it anymore. Why do you want to spend hours doing it? With the video, I can do a standard-sized house in 2.5 hours, inside and out. Now, I do every window inside and out, including the screens. Someone who's not quite as trained as well as I am may spend only an hour on all the outside lower windows, just so that because you look out those on a daily basis while you're sitting at your kitchen table or whatever.
Yeah, your video shows us how to do it at home. It's called I Do Windows. Keith and Lisa Kroehler, thanks for being with us.